What do you get when you combined TMNT, Power Rangers, and a drop of Adam West Batman?
Road Rovers!
Sometimes bad TV series aren't the only ones that get axed. Good ones fall through the cracks too. Around the same time the Superman animated series started, an original unknown superhero show came out the doggy door. There were a lot of these shows that were being pumped out, like the Mighty Ducks cartoon, but they were more of the same. Funny action adventure show, instead of turtles, it's ducks. But Road Rovers tried something different. It was a smart action-adventure comedy series. From the very beginning, you felt the energy from the production. They had no rules to follow. Remember commercial bumpers? Those things were fading out even in the early 90s. Road Rovers went all out with those things. The music, the one-liners, the references. I also suggest reading the end credits. They stick jokes in there too. Even designs were very creative. They had a freaking spaceship with a detachable frisbee. A lot of people love Star Trek on that team. But Rovers wasn't just about the laughs or the references. They put thought in everything. If you're a hardcore dog lover, there's a lot to appreciate. Where have I seen this design elsewhere? They even dealt with some real-life issues. That, of course, got them in trouble with parents. I'll get into it later. So what the hell is the show about? A madman by the name of General Parvo, with his second-in-command groomer, created the Kano Mutator, a device that is able to transform dogs into human-like hybrids, brainwashing them to follow Parvo's words without question. His main goals are to kill a professor named William Shepard, who's voiced by a lizard doctor from a certain Spider-Man show, and wants to take over the world. With the world in danger, Professor Shepard picks 5 dogs from different countries around the world, forming the Road Rovers. If you're a fan of Animainiacs, Gargoyles, and the bottomless pit that is Frank Welker's voice, you'll be enjoying the voice cast. The characters are all parodies on many different superheroes, with their own quirks and some questionable obsessions. No one's perfect, and everyone falls on their faces all the time. How you're chosen by the professor is if you show strength of character, determination, bravery, loyalty, and intelligence.
Fire!
The Rovers are led by Hunter, originally a stray along with his friend Muzzle. Hunter is the hyperactive, happy to try everything out and likes to please his friends. Has an obsession with tennis balls and playing fetch. He tries to be what's expected from a leader, but never quite makes it. Hunter's also pretty bad at getting jokes. He puts Data to shame sometimes, and breaks the fourth wall a lot, pointing out when huge plot twists happen. His main superpower is running fast. His personality is a mixture of Wally West Flash and She-Hulk. I don't have much to say about him. As a leader, he does a good job. His heart is always in the right place, but his constant pointing out plot twists does get tiring.
I would not have predicted this.
Next up is Colleen, a dog from the UK, the sly, agile team member. She acts as the mother and level-headed one. Colleen always tries to keep the guys focused. She can be sometimes stuck up, and while she tries to act that she's perfect, Colleen always is forgetting Blitz's name and tends to get tunnel vision when getting into fights. Hunter and Colleen have a fun dynamic. You can see Hunter likes her, but Colleen treats him more like a dumb brother, so she's pretty clueless about him. They might have gone somewhere with this if they got the chance. Colleen's personality is a mixture of Wonder Woman and Harley Quinn. Her superpower is being a master at all kinds of martial arts. My only issue with her, usually Tress MacNeille is fine with accents, but her Scottish/English one was annoying. I don't get why, because she's done English voices in other shows before. Maybe it's because Colleen acts sarcastic most of the time, so maybe she does the voice annoying on purpose?
Oh, sorry. I didn't see you sitting there. I'm Colleen.
Next up is Blitz. If there was something that would signal the show was made in the 90s, Blitz is your dog.
Oh, that smells springtime fresh.
Unlike Hunter and Colleen, Blitz is a huge joke on Arnold Schwarzenegger. Very obsessed with his looks, thinks he's the greatest on the team, but usually is the one who chickens out half the time. His main superpower is his jaws of steel, being able to bite through almost anything. He also has retractable claws. The weird thing about him, he has this fetish of biting people's butts, but out of the 13 episodes, he's only done it once. I thought we would be seeing it every episode. His personality resembles Booster Gold, except 5 times worse. About the whole Colleen forgetting Blitz's name, I like it sometimes. They came up with funny gags, but there are episodes where it's annoying.
Blitz, no, that's not working for me.
Who's next? Exile. He's the one who has the most superpowers, having 3 different eye lasers that can freeze, heat, and acts as night vision binoculars. Plus, super strength. His main shtick is getting phrases wrong. He'll say things like April Day instead of May Day. Exile is also the most serious of the 5, but can be very vain just like Blitz, or tends to grow an ego if he pulls off something really big. His personality is a mixture of Superman and oddly Bizarro. In some ways, I wish Exile was the team leader. Hunter, while he's alright, a lot of his regular dog persona distracts him, where Exile doesn't let much affect him. Now for the 5th team member, Shag, he's a bit of a mystery. Professor Shepard chose him for his bravery, but mainly runs away whenever things go bad. And unlike the other 4, when they enter their transdogmifier to change into their sapient forms, Shag remains mostly dog. They don't really go into much detail on how the machines work. They give the dogs the ability to talk, gain knowledge on how most things work, like driving vehicles and understand technical things. I like it as a plot device. They don't have a thing like a morpher. They have to always go back to the chamber to change forms. It would have been cool to see more episodes based around it. I easily see them doing one where a human gets turned into an animal, but for some reason Shag is stuck between. Maybe it's something the writers would have expanded on if they had gotten a 2nd season. Maybe the machines don't work on every animal equally. We see Parvo deal with many problems with his mutator. But either way, Shag is still a valuable asset to the team. When there's a serious issue, Shag will come and rescue them, not to mention acts as the team's Deus Ex device whenever they need to pull out a weapon from nowhere. Plus has the ability to make money disappear with the amount of food he eats. He's a bona fide Goku. The last characters of note are Professor Shepard himself and Muzzle. Not much was given to their backstories. We do get some information about Muzzle's background, why he's crazy, but the professor was kept mostly a mystery. They probably wanted to explain Shepard's special powers in a future episode. That's the thing I liked about the series. It's not the greatest superhero show out there, but it doesn't only rely on the comedy. The writers were slowly building on some mysteries and storylines that connected the heroes and villains together. They even pulled time travel into the mix, revealing some big secrets about General Parvo and how the professor survives his assassination attempt in the pilot. The writers balanced a very crazy group of characters with structured writing. The dogs even have secret identities. All of them are a part of families to 5 world leaders. Now, about the parents' complaints. In the pilot episode, the way we're introduced to Hunter and Muzzle, they were in a dog shelter, they stayed there too long, never got adopted, and they were going to be euthanized. So of course, parents were shocked. What's this? You're showing my child what happens to animals, even though I remember many ASPCA commercials that show abused animals in their ads? How come you don't complain about those? There's 3 reasons why they did this. 1, it establishes the tone of the series. It's not going to be all goofy and funny. 2, it showcases Hunter, his dedication of being a hero. He escaped, but didn't just bail. He went back and rescued Muzzle. 3, I was 10 when this aired, and I had no idea animal shelters did this. By covering this in the show, kids will understand, and maybe when they go and pick out a new pet, they won't skip over one that's missing a leg or one that's blind. Muzzle got a 2nd chance. That's the point of doing something like this, something positive out of a negative situation. But parents will be parents. It's called parental controls and parenting. I see Road Rovers as what Teen Titans Go could have been. Instead of reusing voice actors and turning a series into something it wasn't supposed to be, you create something original. Be funny as much as you want, but have an overall story that works back into the characters. Ironically, Road Rovers actually made a guest appearance on Teen Titans Go. Their first appearance in over 20 years, and it had to be this series. I found it actually funny because they referenced the series that had original concepts while Go repurposes things. This even made me remember Lunatics Unleashed, another series that attempted to use a property that's established one way, trying to use it another way. Instead of making that junk, you could have just relaunched Road Rovers playing alongside Batman Beyond, because everything that show tried to do was already been done in Wait, I'm getting way off track here. This is another video for another time. I need to talk about the villains, but it's hard to not spoil things. There's several mysteries about General Parvo, but basically Parvo and Groomer's dynamic are like Robotnik and Snively from Sonic, but they go further than that. It's a love-hate relationship. Both need each other, but Parvo doesn't like showing weakness, so they act and do things that don't make much sense until later in season 1. I like how they play around with cliche bad guy stuff. You first think Parvo's going to be another fat cat from Rescue Rangers, but you slowly understand why Parvo does what he does. Groomer is a complete mess. She is definitely on par with Harley Quinn, where no matter how bad it gets for her, she doesn't lead the life of crime. But she does get fleshed out and gets a few episodes to herself before the series finale. But there's one thing I didn't get. Shepard was able to put the dogs with world leaders, but he never tells them about the dogs being superheroes. You'd think it would have been better to tell them they have 6-foot dog bodyguards, because there's times they have to sneak out without getting caught. The world leaders could keep a secret like this. So how come the show got canceled? If it's so good, what happened? Was it because of the parents complaining? Was it because it got beaten by another show? Did the show's writing get worse? No. The parents' complaints didn't stop it. The worst that did was stop the pilot from airing for a short time. Its viewing numbers were actually higher than Superman TAS. If you don't know, Superman wasn't all that liked in the beginning. People had issues with the writing. It wasn't good as Batman TAS, so it was being beaten out by the Road Rovers. What actually killed it was a stupid lawsuit on who owned the rights to the series. There's not much other details to it. It was just a stupid rights issues that doomed it. I was pissed when it got canceled. I mean, I got used to it. The 90s had a string of cartoon shows, Get the Axe. So while we got 26 episodes of Lunatics Unleashed crap, Rovers died in 13. I say if you like to see more of what the 90s was about, that's not only DC, Marvel, or Disney, give this one a chance. And as the professor always says,
they're good dogs.